Behold, and welcome to the Garcast IRL. I am your hunter, Armalite, and your host. And tonight we have our first GG, which I'm dubbing as my guardian guest. First ever. This will be episode 1. And we are coming at you live from the last city. And now, let me make sure everything's all set. Now, before we get into it, hey, I'm a hunter too. Hell yeah, let's go. So before we get into it, please do me a favor and hit the like button. You know, hit that sub button. Do all that great stuff that we all love to do, I guess. And yeah, we'll get this party started. All right. Our first guest tonight, his name is KatTheStrong. And we're going to hear a little bit about Kat. Kat, if you can hear me, go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience.
I'm Kat. I am a Titan of the last city. And I'm, well, I guess that's an introduction for you.
Hey, it's a lot better than what mine was. So, all right, so while we get into this, tell me a little bit about yourself. Who is Kat?
I'm a Titan who is a defender of the last city. I'm someone who would rather go to the front lines and make sure everyone gets out safe. I'm a bit smarter than my other Titans. As some people like to say, I'm more of a pencil eater than a crayon. I've been on multiple quests to kill beings that were a threat to the traveler in the last city. Mainly just on the front lines, helping out the civilians to make sure they don't get hurt.
Nice. Now, think back when you first woke up, right?
Yep.
What was your first memory?
My first memory, it seemed like it was a distant, like a distant memory. It wasn't there, like it didn't feel like mine. It felt like it was in the future or maybe in the past. It was a vague, but all I can remember is trying to get to the wall, being shocked at what we all saw. And before, I guess I blacked out or died, I just saw a big bright light, so there's really nothing to it. That's all I can.
Now, do you remember your past life by any chance, or?
It's foggy every now and then. Random visions every patrol, every few hours. But it's never vague. It's never like I can see who I was. It's just little glimpses.
Right.
Like filling out parts in my brain that are gone.
Now, has it come to you as you found an item, or you found journals of possibly your past life, or?
It's mainly kind of like that, yeah. If I find something out in the wild, and maybe I had it in a past life, I guess, it causes a vision, it causes a memory, I guess, like kind of unlocking them after, my death. Right. And usually they don't last long. It's little fast glimpses. But I've been trying to put them together for like a while now. And it's just, I'm not getting much luck.
Now, do you remember like how long you've been awake?
How long since my first revive?
Yeah.
It's been a year now. Year or more.
About a year. Okay. So, what's the name of your ghost?
Sovereign.
What was that?
Sovereign.
Was that a name that you picked out, or was it?
It was a name I picked out, mainly for his intelligence and how good he is at doing certain things. Sovereign brings a kind of a big title, so I thought maybe that would be fitting for my ghost.
Right. So do you feel like that's, everybody always dogs on you Titans about being crown eaters, but do you feel like you owe a lot of that to your ghost of kind of pushing you along to be able to make smarter judgments, right?
Yes, I owe it to my ghost a lot, that he brought me up, he taught me a lot of stuff, and I wouldn't be here and all that without him.
Right.
He's, as every guardian, they're always there. As soon as you wake up, they're the first thing you see. They're the first thing that you'll ever see. First memory, first revive was because of them.
Now, have you ever had any close encounter since you've woken up where you almost lost your ghost?
I can bring up a few times. One was on the moon. We were falling down one of the chasms to explore the inner parts of the moon for Eris. She sent us on a mission via the Vanguard to do so. We fell down, and he kind of, for some reason, the moon's structures, the hive structures, messed with how they float, and he just crashed down onto the ground like an old plane. Luckily it just chipped one of his casings on his armor, but it could have been a lot worse.
Damn, that would be nuts. I don't know what I would do if I was to lose my ghost, man. It'd be insane. I wouldn't know what to, like, after that. I know, Osiris, he's still kicking it, messing with like Strand and stuff, which that kind of threw me for a fucking loop. So I was like, wait, what? But yeah, I've always thought about that ever since Cade's death.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of us have thought of that.
When I first landed on Neo Moon and I first ever got a glimpse of Strand, I was always wondering, is this kind of like a life force or anything? But once I saw Osiris use it without a ghost, without something to bring him back, he became one of the most courageous people I've ever known. Doing that with the possible death, even when he doesn't have a chance to come back, is strong of him.
Just think when we were in our training, when we were learning how to control Strand, not that long ago, how many times did we die?
I personally died quite a few times.
Same. I couldn't get a handle on it at first. I was just like, I even got frustrated with myself. Like, it was nuts.
I swear, my ghost probably got tired of me after that day. Every time he revives me, he just looks like he has a little disappointed, eye.
Yeah, like that, the shaking of the head gesture, just like, oh my god.
Like, this motherfucker.
I don't know. Osiris was really pushing it with me. Like, I don't know about you, but he kept flailing on it. And I almost gave up, to be honest. But
I mean, can we blame him? He lost his ghost due to the Witch Queen, Savathun. She basically just ripped out his light in a way. Like, he's getting through it with Saint, but I don't think Saint could keep him locked down most of the time.
Right. Now,
Saint is more of a... Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Saint is more of a lifeline for us into Osiris, because they care for each other. I swear, I feel like there's nothing Saint wouldn't do to get him back to the tower. And when we walked in on him, me and my ghost, when they were talking on Neo Moon, they seemed like they were, having an argument, but they just really Saint just really is protective of him because he has no light.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. I hope he sticks around, and because I don't think we could have gotten this far without him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now
He does kind of owe it to Osiris at the same time, with how Osiris allowed us a while ago to save him by going back to time.
Yeah, that took a long time to get that kind of figured out. Hey, those of you that are in the chat, feel free to chat it up. I'll conversate with you. Ask questions if you got questions or anything from my boy Kat here. And please do give the stream a like and maybe sub. I got plenty more of this. I'm gonna have plenty more of guests coming on. I want this to be a regular thing. So now after that shameless plug, let's does you and your ghost have any like hobbies?
Not really. We do some things in the tower. We interact with civilians and all that. Play with the kids a little.
Right.
Seem like more of a figure that they can look up to more, Like if they need something, they can, like the last city gets attacked again. They know like maybe I'm not far off. They know that I'm probably close by and all of it will end soon.
Right.
It's what I strive to be as a Titan.
Now, I gotta know, you being a Titan, what are your thrill issues? Do you enlist in the Crucible a lot, or do you typically just kind of mess around with the Vanguard operations?
I'm more mess around with Zavala and Ikora with their Vanguard stuff, mainly to keep the enemies at bay and make sure they're not a threat to the last city. Let me tell you though, the only time I go into the Crucible with Shax, trust me, I storm into the tower, ask him to put me into a match, and mainly just to do it to calm down a little.
Right. So,
but I always keep my ghost hidden in Crucible just in case.
Now, just between us two, right? Hopefully, they're not listening to us. Do you happen to go on your own little missions, like, let's say, maybe like your next door neighbor, one of their kids or whatnot, family member, climbed the wall or got on the other outside of the wall of the last city, and they ask you to go and find them. Have you ever done any of that, or? Sometimes
people decide, maybe if I do something courageous, I could become a guardian. Maybe the Traveler will resurrect me, and I can be a strong person and protect the family. But here's what they don't understand: the wall is the only thing that's protecting them. So when I find them, I don't scold them. I just place my hand on one knee and get down and make sure to tell them, if they're small enough. If not, I just stand up. I just make sure to tell them, out here, I'm scared. I could lose my ghost, become lightless, and be one death away.
Yeah.
And I make sure to tell them the only reason I'm alive, like I said, is because of my ghost. You don't have one. You're lightless. Even if you die, there's no guarantee that your courageousness will be what makes the Traveler a guardian. Make you a guardian.
Yeah.
The only thing that we know is how he picks them is that based on their strength, based on their possibilities of what they could do.
Well, like what the speaker said, those devotion inspires bravery inspires sacrifice, and sacrifice leads to death. And that's what it means to be a guardian. And that's the hardest part when you got these kids that look up to us and they want to be
They want to be
they want to be just like us, and then they
but
try to
they
go
don't.
out and do their own
Yeah.
thing. It's like, guys, you can't do this. It's
But
like,
and here's the thing, I just don't like, even if they do become a guardian, they need to know you're not gonna remember who you are. All of that's erased the moment you come back. There's little glimpses of it, like I've said, but after that, you don't know who you are. You're a new person,
yeah.
reborn. And that just scares me if I one day get another request like that, like someone got off the wall who's lightless, and I just find a body. That's something I don't ever want to do.
Well, yeah, none of us want to go through that.
No. I've seen my fair share of last deaths by guardians, but I know that they've done amazing things, and they like old times, they're in a better place.
Right.
But lightless people, they're just it's different. It strikes something.
Yeah. It's humanity, you know. It's the whole. It's they just. I mean, and of course we were there at once, you know, at one point in time. You know, we don't exactly, you know, we had it where. But yeah, it's kind of insane a little bit. But anyways, let's get off the sobby stuff. Anyways, what? Okay, let's get on to the more controversial stuff. How do you feel about Crow?
Crow?
I for me, like Crow. He was Aldrin. He killed Cade, and it really impacted a lot of us when he did that. But you know, as a guardian or a fellow guardian now, what is your perspective on him, and especially now, since that he's teleported?
Didn't see him on the moon like some guardians reported. I saw him in the outskirts of the Cosmodrome. He was doing some things. I was like, okay, that's fine. I don't know who that guardian is, but I'll let them be, but I'm gonna go ask if they need help. He had his mask on, like that signature mask he used to have.
Yeah.
And I went close, and he aimed at me, and I had to make sure to tell him that I'm friendly, I'm a guardian. And he took off his mask. And the moment he did that, just flashbacks to all those years ago when I was over Cade's body and Aldrin had escaped into the reef. Obviously he didn't remember that until recent events. He didn't know why I just was staring at him for so long.
Right.
I even took off my helmet and all that just to make sure I wasn't blind by my helmet for a second. I know you. And I said, you don't know me, and not anymore, but I do know you. I didn't tell him I killed him, though. I didn't want to start something. But after some time, after he proved himself, after he saved the commander, and after he went through the portal, like you said, I've seen him as he's trying his best. Aldrin is in the past. He's not Aldrin anymore. Like, all of us could have done some really messed up things before we were Guardians. But that's not what makes us Guardians anymore.
No.
He's new. He proved himself. Like he said tomorrow, he wanted to prove himself. And I think that was a way of paying it back to all of us.
Yeah, I think for the most recent events, he's definitely, I think he's either proven himself or we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't turn around and stab us in the back, you know, once we can enter the Traveler.
I don't think he will. I think the moment we get in there, he's going to have the biggest sigh of relief. Especially when we all, like the entire Guardian army comes in. I mean, we have like some guardians near the traveler just in case. Just like ready to go as soon as we call in. So we're not going to be the first ones in unless we're deployed next to the traveler. But, you know, I'm going to try to be the first one in to help him.
Oh yeah, yeah, because we need to get this whole
Witness
situation, you know, finished. We need to finish this. So kind of, I'd say let's kind of move to a different type of topic. If you're comfortable with it, you don't have to, but what was the what you would say the scariest moment since you became a guardian? What's that look like? You don't have to answer that if you don't want to.
No, you're fine. The scariest. Well, as you know, the Vanguard has certain operations called what we called back then raids in a way. Basically, It was one time on Venus. The elusive vault of glass, the shrouded door that protects horrors within. That's all everyone likes to call it. No guardian ever wants to go down there, but we must to keep the peace.
Right.
And we opened the door, the front door and all that, I guess. And we kept delving down further, checking every corner, checking everything for traps, because it's Vex. We never know what they're going to spring on us. Comms to the outside world were shot, like they were blocking it. And the moment all of us stepped in, all 6 of us, the door just closed behind us. As if somebody was, in a way, expecting us to come in. But we kept going down deeper. We got to a big room, a big old room. There was a hunter who went down first because they were more of a scouting expert.
Right.
And we needed a scouting expert to, all that. He went down. He found this glowing cube, oracles, he called it, because they are, in a way, a kind of reader of time. If he moved, it moved. If I moved, nothing would happen because we're too far away. But we all came down and all of that. I accidentally, however, pulled my trigger on the way down. Mistakenly. Basically, that shot started a lot of things. The oracles turned red, and I just knew, okay, this is not good. I put up a little barricade real quick as for us to hide behind, just in case. Then a big Vex came out of nowhere. It looked like one of those Hydra things that you would see out in the wild during a scouting party.
Right.
It had a weird shield over it. We did not know how to take it out. But one of the warlocks had a bright idea. Now, because, they came prepared, we had 1 EMP. So, outer hole of the shield. So I ran forward with covering fire from my fire team and stuck it onto the shield, and it did actually disable it for a time.
Oh shit.
We were able to scrape it a little bit, but the Vex, this is a Vex beyond what all the other ones are.
Right.
But the door behind it had opened up a little bit. Kind of like something was saving us, but trying to take us further within for more. Trying to prove us that we were worth it. So we all ran back there just super quickly. And it closed behind us. Sadly, I did have to say, one of us did not make it through the door. It was another Titan. Sadly, he did not get there in time because he was stuck by some kind of Vex. And I'll get back to that later.
Right.
We kept going down. We found some kind of harpies, and on a lower floor, like a cave, like they carved it, looking for something or building something. We were able to get past them with the help of a hunter, and we went further in. There's nothing much to talk about. We didn't even try to attack them. They looked all blue and stuff.
Mhm.
I just knew that if we tried to attack them, something bad would happen. However, once we got further down, we found a triangle door shape after jumping over a big cavern. It opened the moment all of us stood in front of it. We all walked in and we saw what people call it now, the glass the glass throne, in a way.
Right.
You could see little people in it playing on a loop, like it was into the future or into the past or into the present.
Huh.
Basically, we kept going forward, and a hand came out of it. It was all. He looked like he was made out of time, in a way.
Right.
And once he stepped out, shit, you don't want to know. So we all got back because slowly but surely he charged his they have the guns on their arms and all that. He was slowly charging it up over time. He let it rip, not a full automatic, but one big shot in the middle,
Kinda like a warning shot, almost, maybe.
basically.
Okay.
That's what I gathered, anyways.
Yeah.
But I made sure that all of us did not shoot back. Maybe we could be docile.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could leave.
Right. Or coerce.
No.
You know, talk it out.
Yeah. It sounded like a sound plan at first. Maybe there was a way. But let me tell you, it was not a warning shot. That was a shot to tell others where we were. Other Vex that came out of doorways behind us, beside us, in front, and the doorway he came out of. The ones that I want to talk about most are the ones that exploded. They had a ghastly feature about them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like their blood was that little the Vex radiolarian fluid. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Was coming out of them slowly.
It was the Vex
And
smoke.
one touch would kill you. They were basically suicide bombers.
Jeez.
In a way. Now, of course, I didn't want anyone to die from them, so we all made a point. We all made a stand. One of the warlocks cast whatever the fuck they called a well. I don't know. They called it
a whale.
But it helped. I've never seen a well be used, but it's like it was like a rejuvenating thing, like that where you'd see in games.
Yeah. They would make you feel good, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nothing happened for a while. We kept our feet and all that. However, the big guy that the Vanguard now deemed Atheon, because they couldn't think of a better name. I would have fucking named it Carl.
Carl. Yeah.
He put up his hand and sent out a pulse. 3 of us just vanished into thin air. Like a snap of the finger.
Mm-hmm.
I tried telling my ghost, I asked him where they went. He couldn't pick them up anywhere. They just were gone. He couldn't find them. He couldn't get to their comms. He could, but at that part, we just called them MIA on the spot. Maybe they got sent to another planet, you know? Maybe we just couldn't pick them up because of the signal.
Yeah.
But at that point, we knew the two of us, me and the Warlock, we were not going to get out. We went past all the Vex, everything, even those weird harpy things that I was talking about before.
Right.
We ran past them all. The big Vex was kind of following us in a way, kind of randomly teleporting, trying to stop us. But we kept getting past them, and we got to the front door. Like I said, if you would call it that.
Right, yeah.
He opened it, the Warlock. I don't know how he did, but he just did. But there was no Atheon guy in sight. He had left, and the door slowly opened. The light, I didn't notice this before on the ground, but there was 20 Guardian ghost shells scattered in the front door that I didn't notice when we first walked in.
Yeah.
Multiple Guardians tried leaving, but the door never opened for them. I grabbed one of the ghosts. I knew I couldn't bring it back and all that, but I decided might as well. Could tap it to its memory banks back at the tower. We left, got in our ships, and never looked back. I haven't seen the Warlock since.
Shit.
And to this day, I don't know where those three went.
Right. Damn.
That was the scariest moment.
Jesus. That is a crazy ass story to tell you. Oh my god.
To go to the tower record thing and
Yeah.
search it up. All of the three Guardians just were marked as KIA.
Oh shit.
I don't believe it, but you know, I have to.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a story though. Shit. Wow. Thank you for that. Whew. All right, so let's take a moment.
Yes,
Chat.
thank
Be sure to ask questions if you have any questions. To ask Kat here, he's more than willing to answer anything you got. You know, the typical Titan thing. Let's see. I guess your kid is in chat.
Yes. I've told him this stuff.
Learning something new every day, I guess.
No, I didn't want it to, but now I'm gonna have to deal with his nightmares.
Yeah. Man, I know. Today, I decided to spend a little time on Neomuna, and there's this little spot I like to go through to clear out all the cabal and shit, because they just keep coming back, dude. They just keep coming back, but I'm just thinking, you know what? I think I'm gonna use this like a like a training facility. You know, it's like it's become my favorite training facility. So
I got a question. He said favorite exotic or exotics and why?
Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I'd have to say the thing, just that I found out in the wild, I guess, by Vex or Guardian lost, like a experimental thing. It's kind of like they imbued the power of solar into it, like our subclasses or our classes. They basically put two big fireballs. I don't know how it doesn't singe my face off every time I have them on.
Right.
but I guess there's some kind of protective shield against it. Basically, when I cast one of my solar supers, it just makes it way more powerful. One of them used to be to where it would just be one. I could use it for quite a few times, a little bit of slams, but then that one just makes it to where it's one consecutive slam every time, but it releases these big sunspot things,
Right,
and it
yeah.
just kills them.
Do you have a name for this thing?
Pyrogales. That's all I could come up with. Or, well, no, sorry. My ghost came up with it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't take his fucking swagger away from him.
Of course, yeah, you know.
But
He'll
explain
probably give it to
why-
you later, you know, be like, really, you're gonna, I came up with that name.
Explain why warlocks are better than titans. Okay. Fair enough. Let's see. Where titans lack, warlocks do have a bit more superior tactics. They are the brain. I can't lie.
Well, and also warlocks tend to wear dresses, so
Yeah.
which is cool. You know,
Cool.
that's your style. You know, that's cool. And Titans carry around a dirty, you know, a sweat rag that they keep in their inside. So he's like, hey man. Oh man. And it's okay, you know, as hunters, you know, we're just squishy, you know, but the ladies like squishy, so it's okay. And we got capes, so we're automatically cool if you have a cape, so man. Go ahead. Is that a warlock play dress up and Titans punch things in the face?
That we do.
That pretty much boils down to it. Yeah, that's great. Yep. Now since we're kind of on somewhat on that subject, do you happen to have any favorite weapon?
Same things. A shotgun, and a hand cannon, and a sword.
Ah, okay.
That is
okay.
mainly what I ask him for, so he already knows what I'm looking for whenever I come into the tower and head his way.
So as soon as you walk up, the usual cat, man, it's like, yeah, you know it. So you must be a real regular with Banshee.
He just. I do come to him for some Exo stuff, because me and him both being Exos, we can basically give information to one or the other a certain way.
Right.
We have little jacks in the back of our head that we can, share memories through or information.
Right.
Mainly an experimental thing that's Clovis thought up, but it doesn't really work all that great.
See, a shotgun with 1-2 punch or trench barrel. That's actually really good. Or something. Let's see. Hang on, the chat on this thing is ridiculous. The heart is hiding it. Make hammers better, I believe. This heart is really getting on my nerves here.
I could give a little into my backstory on the Exos. I have looked into the Clovis spray stuff on Europa.
Yeah.
And I did find a little bit about my coming in as a Exo.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like to hear it.
Oh, go for it, man. I love stories.
All right. So, basically, I was sent on a self-sent patrol mission onto Europa. Mainly to find out the fuck am I? Who did I used to be? What did I used to look like? I didn't sadly get that information from the records.
Right.
The only thing I found out is how I came to be an EXO. It's if you ask any other EXO, they'll probably say the same thing over and over. Oh, Clovis Bray, I was just part of it and all that. I was family. I was a volunteer and all that. Me, from the file that I found, I'll pull it up actually. Real quick. But what it says basically is suffered extreme internal bleeding via abdomen punctured by rebar stick from a old looking vehicle. So I believe it basically, I guess I had a very bad wound from a piece of rebar, and the only option I really had was to become an EXO. Did not die. But I did die anyways because I had to become a guardian. But he was my only way. So I went to Clovis, got patched up. He asked me if I really want this because there's certain bad things to it and there's certain good things to it. I had no other choice. I would have died. So I became an EXO.
Jeez.
And I'm supposedly one of the many experimental models because I was an early volunteer. So I don't have as much upgrades as other EXOs do. Though while I was there, I did find Clovis. You would not believe it unless you went there yourself. But he transferred himself into a big head.
Oh, I seen that. Yeah. Oh my god. Like, that was weird. That was trippy.
Yeah. So I tried waking him up, but I guess he didn't want old ass.
Yeah. I'm so glad we're not dealing with his ass anymore. But yeah.
But he didn't have sighted or something. So I couldn't really find out much.
I have this really weird ass question, but I've been pondering this for like the past couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
I've been hearing some rumors or whispers around the neighborhood, or within the walls of the tower, that there's this conversation going about how when each time that we get ourselves killed and we're lucky to have our ghost to be there to revive us, bring us back, there's this question that's going around if every time like we die and then we are resurrected, basically the way I understand it is, I could be completely wrong about this, but it's basically reconstructing like all of our atoms and molecules and stuff like that of our bodies. And it's basically, so the question is are we the same, or are we just a copy that remembers everything from the past? But let's say like I remember everything prior to right now, but then if I get myself into some trouble and I end up dead, then am I going to be the next one? Am I going to be still me, or is that just a copy of me that continues on? I don't know if you've been hearing whispers about that, but it's been kind of bugging me for the past couple of weeks. Just thinking about it.
I'm gotta go help my ghost or something real quick, but I'll think on it while see if I've ever heard whispers.
Okay.
I shall be back when I'm done helping my ghost.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I hope everybody is enjoying themselves this evening. I really do appreciate you being here, and if you do me a great big favor and gently, only so gently caress my like button. You know, lets me know that you're enjoying yourself, and gotta play that algorithm, baby. So do hit the subscribe button. You know, I got more people in line that are going to come onto the show as well, and yeah, let's see. Hopefully this gets a little more crazy.
Hello.
Nah, bro, I smacked the hell out of that like button. I appreciate it.
I did think about it. I have heard a little bit of things. I have heard every now and then while I'm going around the city, and I do have a part saying it. Basically,
Okay.
I do not think that we are like turned into a new person and all that. We sure, it feels weird when you're resurrected, and yes.
But how do we know that though? We don't know. Like if I die now, when I'm resurrected, that could be a new me. You know? Like it's wild when you really think about it. It's like, oh shit. Could that be possible? I mean, it's trippy.
I don't think so. I think it's just, like I said, there sure are gaps in our memory, and we're still the same. We're just the same guardian, same person. Say, I've died many times, and of course I have gaps in my memory, but they always come back after some time. I don't know about other guardians like you, if you still have those gaps. But I personally, after some time, they come back. It's like my ghost is working on bringing him back while he's hidden away in your my back pocket or something.
Right. Well, I just thought I'd ask that question because it's been kind of bugging me for the past couple
Few
weeks,
weeks.
like I was saying. But I figure I asked to kind of maybe see what you thought, if you're thinking the same or if you heard any. Oh.
Okay. See you, son. No, yeah, I have a very different view. So, any other?
Well, I really do appreciate your kid being here for the stream. Zero, I see you in chat. It's about damn time you showed up. You better still be there. Shit. Okay. Actually, there was something else I wanted to ask you. Are you currently are you representing any any of the clans? Are you in just like a small fire team, you and some buddies, or are you actually in a faction or any of those?
I have made a small clan in the tower and out about the universe that's open to anyone, really. We are called the fault line of space. In a way, it's kind of like, a fault line. It's the bridge between certain things.
Right.
And we're the bridge between humanity and space. So I called us the fault line of space.
Oh wow.
Basically, it's not much of us. It's four of us. One of them is, I believe, here watching the stream from the last city. He is a guardian, obviously. Mm-hmm. His name is Seven. He's not an EXO, but for some reason he just has his name Seven.
Seven?
I did. Just Seven.
Just Seven.
I'd say the rest of his name, but I do not think he would like being outed like that for people to come find him in the last city.
Right.
And all that, but his name is Seven. He has been with me through a lot. I will say that. He's been there for whenever I die and my ghost needs some cover for that while they revive me.
Mm-hmm.
We've been on multiple conquests, self journeys, and all that. He's one of the people who helped me discover Wilhelm and his story. So I do have to owe it to him. There's two others who I will not point out because privacy.
Oh, of course.
But 7 is like my right-hand man in a way.
I would love to meet this number 7. Or 7.
I could maybe see about that, but I would not.
You know, I'm not going to get everybody, but
Yeah.
The door is open, so.
Of course.
So what is you know, I feel like, I don't know, is it just me, but when it comes to Hawthorne, you know, I feel like she could be doing a lot more, right?
Yeah.
Am I just the only one that thinks that? I feel like she could be doing a lot more, like maybe like setting us up like a spot for our clans, because she's basically in charge of all the clans around us.
Yeah.
And I just don't. She gives us some the weapons and armor every once in a while. You know, it's like, what the hell? You know, it'd be kind of cool if she could like work out, like, you know, out of all the, you know, out of the glimmer that we could bring together. You think that we'd be able to, you know, get ourselves like our own spot, you know, for our clan.
I made the clan, and I just keep getting pushed around.
Yeah.
He keeps telling me, I've been trying to find a spot and all that. But he has yet to find a spot.
Well, I would say like our helm. You know,
yeah.
Born. You know, open up the doors.
We have that huge ass ship, but we can only have certain parts of it.
I know, right? There's so much potential that can happen with that thing, but they just won't do nothing with it.
Will I lie? Have I sent my ghost throughout the vents to see what the rest of the ship looks like? Yes. Has he come back with anything? No, because he can't ever find anything.
Right, yeah.
He's found some rooms, but for some reason they were just made to be made, not to be accessed. Unless we just haven't found a way to open them, then, you know.
Now, when it comes to, you did mention that you typically stick with like the Vanguard operations and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like to do to try to break up the monotony of that? Because it's like, you know, I get a whole stack of these bounties I gotta go take care of for Zavala for some fucking reason. You know, he's got like all this paperwork, and yeah, like I get stuff out of it. You know, I get paid, but like, come on, it gets a little like just repetitive, you know. So what do you end up doing to kind of break that up a bit?
So I have come to Zavala about the bounties, and we have been working on them, me and him, as more of a, you know, someone in the Vanguard is someone who can be like a conspirator for the Guardians that helping with the Vanguard stuff and the bounties. I've asked him to lower the quota in a bit. Maybe one bounty a week or something. Maybe just not trying to push it onto us every time we try to help him with some Vanguard stuff. And he's been having some progress. But what I usually do in Vanguard stuff is I usually ask him for the biggest target. I want some premier loot from the ops that I go out on.
Yeah.
So I have to give me the biggest one. But the biggest ones I usually find some people and all that to do it with. That 7 guy is usually the one I do it with the most. But other than that, I just find random guardians.
Right. Well, speaking of that, how do you feel? Have you tested the new system that Bungie Corp put out with to be able to help us find other guardians out there that are working on the same missions or whatever it is that they're doing? Have you tried that system out? Because I haven't really messed with it yet.
I have a little bit. It's a weird terminal to mess with. For some reason, sometimes the signals can't even leave the tower because there's no satellites other than Rasputin's, and Rasputin is gone. And plus, all the energy from it have been depleted ever since we shot the Traveler, or stopped the Traveler.
Right.
And plus, with all the pyramid ships up there, those could also be blocking it, so they need to find a wraparound for it. But other than that, it works sometimes. The signals sometimes get past all of it, and sometimes the signals don't. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about trying it out, but I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I know everybody is like, you know, some guardians out there, they have really high expectations, you know, and it can be kind of frustrating, you know, especially when you're just wanting to help, or if you're, you know, you need to do some yourself, or some people they just want too much from you, you know. It's like that old deal back in the day, way back in the day, where you gotta have Gallahorn for like everything. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god. I mean, that's still a thing. But I guess the weapons are a little bit different. Do you get and I guess you get into raiding parties every once in a while, like, you know, I know, like, I think the last one that I did, I can't remember. I used to go on raiding parties all the time. I know we had to go, like, back when I first woke up. I went through and had to go after Callus.
Yeah.
You know, on the Leviathan and everything. Which, you know, he went through a lot of major changes here recently too. So that was weird.
All the modifications from the Witness.
Yeah. So it's like, he's a sellout, you know. But I guess you can't expect anything less from him. I guess
from Palace of all people.
Yeah. Anyways, another thing I wanted to, I'd say we could talk a little bit about, like, Bungie Corp. How do you feel about whenever they do their regulations, either through Shaxx's Crucible, hell, even through Zavala, or not Zavala's, but Saladin's. I like to call him Salad Bar. But he I don't know, I feel like they put a lot of restrictions on certain things, not really allowing so much modding for some of our equipment that we like to use, but I was curious on how you felt about it, on their regulations and strategy of that.
I've had a few times where I have gotten mad about it. And I've had a few times where I've even tried to track them down, but they are elusive. They leave no trace. I swear, they are probably on a planet in another galaxy, I guess, because I've been on all of them.
Right.
I have yet to find them. They must have some kind of forward operating base in the city, though. It's just I haven't found it. But
Yeah,
other than
I'm
that,
having a
I
hard
just
time finding it. I think everybody has been trying to look for where exactly they work out of, but
yeah, but they're encrypted. Shit, I don't think even fucking Rasputin could have unlocked the encryption.
you're probably right.
I mean, we never asked.
No.
I mean, I didn't ask. If a Guardian asked and they found him, they must be dead. Now, speaking on a topic from before, like I said, the mystery of Wilhelm 7.
Mm-hmm.
He, from what his audio log said that are scattered around his final resting place in that loot cave, he went mad. He killed his entire fire team for greed. And I was just puzzled by that. Like, he
Wow.
just killed them all for greed, killed their ghosts, threw them down holes, lit them up with grenades, and but, I mean, those Guardians trusted him, and he just killed them.
Mm.
And I'm pretty sure he wasn't even by his own ordeals. I'm pretty sure he just went crazy because of something down there. But if he did, then I have yet to find it every time I go in there for a patrol.
Mm. What's your how did you feel about the us using darkness? I know Zavala was very not really
Very
in for it at first.
Yeah.
But like, how did you feel about it? Were you like just open-minded or what?
So obviously everyone knows the first time we've ever wielded the darkness is on Europa.
Yeah.
Of course. We all found it and all that. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what it is by now. We've had it for a long time. Aramis's lieutenants. Sadly, they're dead now because, they shot first.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared. I mean, stasis. Well, it's not ice, it's paracausal energy made by the darkness to give our bodies a weird ice kind of thing. It's very cold. It makes your body freeze up for a bit.
Right.
And it does get scary almost every time you use it. I use it on the rare occasion I need to. I love the power it gives me, sure, but it's, again, scary being stuck there. Sure, when I mastered it, it wasn't as scary, but, it still has a chance of maybe backfiring. It's the darkness. We can't control it forever. We can't, always you control it like we can the light, because we were born with light. We were reborn with it, and not the darkness.
Well, how do you feel about Strand though? I mean, I don't know
I
if I would
see-
even consider that to be a darkness, really.
I haven't considered it to be the darkness. Like Nimbus told Osiris, and he told us, it's like a river. It's like a flow state in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You're releasing all your muscle, you're releasing everything and putting it into one certain part of your body and using it like you would the light. It's like a life force in a way. It's sure it has darkness properties, but it has light and darkness in it. So, have some control over it. Do we have full control over it? No. Or does it ever take control of us? No, but it probably could. The first time I ever used it, as you know, as we talked about earlier with our training and all that, you could feel it tingle, not like the darkness does.
Mm-hmm.
Not like darkness where it's just a pain, like a sharp. It's a culmination of the both. So I personally like it.
I definitely have. Once I've learned to harness it better, don't make fun of me, but I've messed up here and there since my training. But I'm getting better, so sometimes it gets me, excuse my pun, but kind of gets me in a bind every once in a while using Strand. But yeah, it's definitely something that I'm still technically learning how to use. Stasis, it's our original darkness subclass. I mean, it's kind of, I got a pretty good grasp on what's going on there. But yeah. So what you said that you're in a clan. Do you guys do anything for fun? Like, do you guys play anything, like, get together, play ball of some sort?
We use the Crucible, where you can go to shacks and he'll give you and your friend or clan or just anyone really a private session.
Oh yeah,
we
yeah.
test their limits with each other and all that, go all out, try to be better. Usually I win, usually they win, but at the end of the day, we're stronger because it's Guardian versus Guardian, and that's usually what we do. Other than that, we would just go on Vanguard operations. We'd go do some Vanguard strikes. We'd do some raiding parties and all that.
I bet you go and do you ever go visit Drifter every once in a while?
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
He's there, He's just there.
I feel like there's so much more to the guy, right?
Yeah.
I feel like there's so much more to him, and we're like, he's not showing his full potential. And it's like, I know there's more about you, man.
There's got to be more. The 9 talked to him directly out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he has access to the 9's place at all times.
Yeah, so what makes him so special, right?
Why weren't we dragged in there?
Right. But yeah, I'll double dabble in his little gambit thing.
His gambit.
Yeah. Just because he's got some decent weapons that I can use for other stuff, but I used to enjoy doing it. I don't know if it was really up to him, or I kind of feel like it was Bungie Corp that was making all these changes on how he ran things in Gambit. I thought it was really cool. I really enjoyed, doing it, and got some really good weapons, even though everybody used the same heavy all the damn time. And just about every match, but the matches were really fun. But now it's just it's really lost its luster, and I really wish you would say something, and actually try to get some done, try to get some changes in there. I don't know who he's got to go talk to, because it's like, I don't even know who can talk to him. The Vanguard, they don't say how they communicate with the Bungie, and I don't know. I don't know how any of that works. I've been searching all over. I thought it was like somewhere in Zavala's office, to be honest. I was thinking
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they had some sort of communications there.
I mean, he did just kind of come out of nowhere, didn't he?
Yeah,
He just
pretty
said, "Hey."
much. Yeah, he just kind of just showed up. It's like, whoa, who are you?
He took over his little spot and he said, "All right."
Excuse me. Now, what would you say? What, like, one of your funniest moments you've ever had?
Funniest. It was on. Let's see, what's that? Titan. It was on Titan. It wasn't where, I met Sloan for the first time after the Red War.
Mm-hmm.
It was. It was not that long ago. It would be fun to try to put, like, kind of raft kind of things that would let something float onto the water and put my sparrow on it. Attach them to it.
Right.
Let me tell you, it wasn't.
All right.
I got on the sparrow, took off, and immediately it stopped working because water got into the engine.
Oh man.
Yeah. Let me just say, I have never paddled back to the to somewhere faster.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, there was a wave coming right at me, and I knew what was under that wave.
Right. Now, speaking of that, have you been doing any fishing lately?
Not really.
Really? I
do it
love it,
now.
dude. I love fishing. It's so relaxing. Just go out on the EDZ and just chill. It's just the one thing that pisses me off is the damn
All
no
falling.
fallen. They always interrupting me while I'm trying to sit here and have a good time fishing. But
Now, see,
nah.
the rare time that I do, and we probably go to the same spot. What I do is I make sure I sit down in a little chair I make, and I fish. I have my hand cannon on the right of me, and my shotgun on the left, so they could see the weapons. Like,
right.
Like, sure, they've messed with me a few times, and let me just say, I got out my chair fast enough to grab the pistol, to grab my hand cannon before they could even shoot theirs once.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm kind of like a hunter at the same time, I'm kind of a gunslinger.
Oh yeah. And they're either trying to drill for shit, or dropping their damn spiders, and it's like, oh, I gotta go take care of this shit, or Zavala's going to chew my ass out again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or on the rare occasion, the Cabal want to say hi.
Mm.
And they just start dropping the balls.
Oh yeah. Just every once in a while.
And it's like, well, guess I'll go settle the peace.
Yo, yeah. To hear that, or get your ass chewed out. It was one of the time.
Yeah.
But oh man, so we're actually at the 1.5 hour mark. I think this would be let's do questions for those of you that are still with us. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat. You can ask anything that you like. We'll kind of do that one more time. And I guess while we're waiting, thoughts or anything that you would like to add as we kind of wrap up here.
I don't have anything. But if the people want to hear something, I'll gladly tell them something.
Okay.
Tell them whatever they want to hear.
They're probably just like, nah.
I think they're all just saying nah.
Yeah. But nah,
I think they've had enough
this was
Guardians.
definitely a lot of fun though.
Of course.
You know, I definitely enjoy you coming on to the show. And hopefully we can get some more up in here.
Yeah.
So okay. Well, anyways, Kat, I think I'm gonna go ahead and let you enjoy the rest of your evening. And again, do appreciate you being here. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, and then I'll just kind of one-on-one with the remainder of the stream. And yeah, hopefully you know, you might drop in my future shows and all that good stuff. So I hope you enjoy that as well. Did you have any questions for me? I might as well ask that.
No, I think any questions I might have asked you asked me, and we both kind of answered them.
Okay, yeah, I think we kind of covered everything pretty good. So
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Again, I appreciate your time with me, and yeah, we should definitely do this again though.
All right.
So, but yeah, you keep it easy out there, and yeah, and if you need anything, let me know.
All right. Goodbye.
Later. And we're going to end that. Oh my God. Hang on a second there. Okay, so if you're wondering what the fuck did I just watch, so back to reality here, and I figure kind of explaining what's going on. I decided to get into trying to dabble into a little bit of role playing, and so basically you come onto the show, and you would have basically what you've seen there. Hopefully this evolves, you know, over time. The more I do this and I come up with new ideas to add to the show. But yeah, so we're role playing now, and this might actually become more of the standard. I'm trying to give a different perspective, especially when we're so anyways, I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut it there. I appreciate your time. Please, you know, leave the like, you know, subscribe to the channel, and that way you can come back for more of these. If you happen to see this and you thought this was really cool and you want to be a part of it, you can reach out to me. My Discord server, it's actually the new one. So in my older videos, that Discord is no longer in existence. So if you want to come into the Discord, the link is in the description. Words are hard. But you can join in at any time, and all you gotta do is just hit me out, and we can actually schedule you a stream, and you could do the same thing. Try to keep it real simple. Try to make it where it's where anybody could really do it, right? So, but anyways, I think I'm gonna let that be that. Again, thank you for your time, and yeah, until we meet again, Guardians, stay classy.